Breaking news, the Los Angeles Lakers have signed Marcus Smart to a 2-year deal worth $11 million. I'm Sean Davis. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button as hard as you possibly can. We have a lot to talk about here today on the channel and going forward as the offseason wraps up. Marcus Smart has agreed to a contract buyout with the Washington Wizards and intends to sign a 2-year, $11 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers after clearing waivers, sources tell ESPN. A return to a grand stage. I'm just going to finish reading the tweet. A return to a grand stage for a 2022 Defensive Player of the Year. So really quickly, quick thoughts on the Marcus Smart deal for the Lakers. I am excited about the deal. I think Marcus Smart, at the very least, is an upgrade at the guard spot over Gabe Vincent. That's been something I've really kind of been hammering home. Something I've been really hammering home over the offseason for this Lakers is that a sneaky need for this team is the fact that they need they need an upgrade at the Gabe Vincent spot. I think Gabe Vincent is fine, but I think we are very clearly past the point of Gabe Vincent being a legitimately good basketball player. I think he's a fine back end of the rotation piece at this point that is streaky as a shooter, but I feel a lot better about your POA defense with it being Marcus Smart compared to it being 2025 Gabe Vincent, if that makes sense. And honestly, to a certain extent, I would have felt a little bit better if it was Bronny in some cases over Marcus Smart. And I'll do a full deep dive on kind of Marcus Smart as a player in a video coming out tomorrow morning. We'll have a video on that, really diving into what Marcus Smart is going to do for this Lakers team. But let's talk about Marcus Smart as a player. And there, in my opinion, there are some things about this that I am kind of like, I'm not all the way sold, if that makes sense. I do like Marcus Smart. Like I said, I think he's an upgrade at the guard position over a specifically, I don't know why I can't think, over Gabe Vincent. And I do think, though, to a certain extent, I do think that reputation is better. His reputation as a defender is kind of superseding or succeeding what he is as a player, I think, at this point. And I think the biggest problem with Marcus Smart over the past few years, really since said 2022, when he won said Defensive Player of the Year, he has really struggled to stay healthy. 2023, 61 games. 2024, last year with Memphis, 20 games played. And then 2025, this year in Memphis and in Washington, played a combined 25 games this season. Did shoot the three ball well in Washington. Did not shoot the three ball well in Memphis, either of his two seasons with the Memphis Grizzlies. So I do think that the biggest thing with Marcus Smart is, please, can you stay healthy? And that is the biggest thing that's going to look at his value is he on the wrong side of 30 at this current stage of his career? Now, with Marcus Smart, though, he adds some legitimate positional versatility. He has guarded up way more compared to years past. He's a completely different defender now, I think. He has guarded 1 through 4 pretty equally, guarding point guards 20.5% of the time, guarding twos 28% of the time, threes 22% of the time, fours 20% of the time. And I'm gonna rib on my guy Cranges, Tim_NBA on Twitter, who put out a good post, I think, that is talking about the Lakers and their the matchups they can look at. So Tim says facing a strong opposing guard and not a heavy scoring wing, you could go Marcus Smart as your POA guy, chaser as Austin Reeves, your helpers as LeBron and Luka, and then you can have your anchor mobile big as Aiden. And if you're facing a stronger scoring wing and a weaker lead guard, they're looking at potentially Marcus Smart as the wing stopper, Luka as the chaser, and Austin Reeves as your POA. Which, to Austin Reeves' credit, I think AR is, in certain matchups, he's not a bad defender. I think he showed specifically in the second half of last season that Austin Reeves can guard up and at least hold his own, especially I think with Aiden and with LeBron on the back line. So I do think that they are going to start Marcus Smart with Luca and with Braun. Potentially, I'm actually going to backpedal on that and spend some more time. But I do think, as doom and gloom FC as the Lakers are right now, I do think this is a better roster compared to last season. Now, have some of the other teams in the Western Conference also gotten better, specifically the Houston Rockets, Denver Nuggets? Yes, they have. But if you look at this team is so clearly deeper than they were last year. Even if the starting lineup is Luca, Austin, Braun, Rui, Aiden. Okay, cool. It's Marcus Smart, Jake LaRavia. It's Jackson Hayes, which as a backup big is perfectly fine. The problem was he was a starter for the last half of the season. Jackson Hayes as a top 8, and then you go to Gabe, you go to Dalton, you go to Bronny, Duthiero, like Maxi Kleber. They have, at the very least, upgraded their depth. And it's honestly going to come down to, can Luka, Braun, and Austin figure it out this year? Can you get the upside from DeAndre Ayton that you need to see? Specifically defensively, can he be a good enough play finisher and a big that can attack mismatches well enough? So I like this team. I think they are, if we go back to my offseason kind of breakdown, I said you need a starting big in the worst way. You need a backup big in the worst way too. I think in a way they kind of addressed that. At the very worst, I think DeAndre Ayton at his worst has proven that he is a starting level big. Now, whether or not he pushes the boundaries of that and can be a all-star caliber big or a elite starter, that is to be seen. Or, you've seen the moments, the ups and downs of that. But at his floor, he's a starting caliber big. Jackson Hayes' floor isn't backup. I think his median, maybe even his ceiling, is a high-quality backup big. His floor is a lot lower than that, though. But at the very least, the Lakers, in a sense, I didn't think Jackson Hayes was going to be coming back after the way last season ended. But Jackson Hayes as your backup big for 8 to 10 minutes, I expect some iteration of small ball still, is perfectly okay. So I'm going to provide some optimism. I'll talk more about what Marcus Smart specifically brings to the table, but I really want to talk about this from a grand scheme of things and what this means for the Lakers. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe here to the channel if you are new. As always, go Lake Show. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe. Peace out.